Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time to take a look at the trending news from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Well, summer may be winding down, but there's still some great events ahead for USA Wrestling. Matter of fact, some of the year's most important events are still on the schedule, including the age group and senior world championships that'll be scheduled over the next couple weeks as part of the new Olympic four-year cycle. We start with a look at the women's world team, and it hasn't been fully assembled. Saturday, August 3rd, the women's world team wrestle-offs will take place at Palmer High in Colorado Springs. 3 spots remain open for the 2013 U.S. Women's World Squad. The weights in contention include 112, 130, and 147 pounds, and these are the 3 non-Olympic weights. The other 4 in the Olympic weights were determined at the U.S. World Team Trials in June. The athlete goal is, of course, to wrestle for Team USA September 16th through the 22nd at the 2013 World Wrestling Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Some of our highest-ranked athletes have earned the right to sit out of competition until the championship finale best-of-3 series. These include the 2013 U.S. Open champions like the top seed at 112, 2-time World Team member Jessica Medina. At 130 pounds, the top seed there is U.S. Open champion and 2-time World Junior bronze medalist Allie Reagan. Coming in at number 1 at 147 is past junior world silver medalist and current U.S. Open champion Veronica Carlson. Remember, you can watch live the presentation of this event on themat.com and themat.tv. Again, that's themat.com and themat.tv. That'll take place on August 3rd. Well, the 2013 U.S. Men's Freestyle and Greco-Roman World Team members will see competition this weekend in Europe. August 3rd and 4th, the Greco men will get their pre-World Championships tune-up in Warsaw, Poland at the Pytaliński Memorial International, with all 7 World Team members slated to compete. We'll go to 145 there. The Olympian and 2-time world bronze medalist Justin Lester will look for his best results. Also in action, 2-time Olympian Spencer Mango at 121 pounds. The tournament will also see 163-pound, 2007 World Team member Andy Basic in competition. For some, this will be their first World Championships. Those 4 in action in Poland include Jesse Thilke at 132 pounds, Jordan Holm at 185, Kaylor Williams at 211 pounds, and big Robbie Smith at 264 pounds. Well, the Pytaliński International is a very competitive event as well. The athletes who perform well there often go on to win world and Olympic medals. Next, we travel to Van de Zor, Armenia. That's where a team of American men freestylers will be tested against strong international fields at the Stepan Sarkisian International. Now we go to 163. That's Jordan Burroughs. He takes his 56-match win streak on the road. World and Olympic champion Burroughs is the #1 ranked wrestler in the world at his weight. 2 other 2013 World Team members are on the mat as well. Brent Metcalf, a 2010 World Team member, returns to the Worlds this year. He'll test himself at 145 pounds. Remember, Metcalf holds a #11 world ranking. Now we go to 185. That's where Keith Gavin lives. He's the other World Team member in the lineup. This is the first World Team for Gavin, and he aims to climb the rankings this year with top performances at his weight. 12 Americans will be competing in Armenia. A number of national team members and top young talents will be in action, including 2013 U.S. Open champion Kellen Russell at 145 pounds. Be sure to check out themat.com for updates throughout the weekend. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. We'll be right back.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
The 2013 World Team Trials for both juniors and seniors will be held June 20th through the 23rd in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is your chance to see national champs, world medalists, Olympians, all competing to see who will represent the U.S. at the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary, and the FILA Junior World Championships in Sofia, Bulgaria. Visit www.theworldteamtrials.com for all your ticketing and travel information. ASICS is the proud sponsor of USA Wrestling's national teams.
Well, the U.S. Army's Greco-Roman star Nate Engel had a great week of competition. He won double gold medals at the Maccabi Games in Ashdod, Israel. Held in Israel every 4 years, this major international multi-sport event features Jewish athletes. Over the past few decades, many talented American wrestlers have competed in the event and done well. Engel competed at 121 pounds and won gold medals in both freestyle and Greco. How impressive was he? Well, he scored a 5-0 record over the two tournaments. Engel beat Israeli opponents in the finals of both styles. To honor his achievements, Engel was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week. Our congratulations go to Nate. Well, a number of FILA World Championship events will be taking place in August as well. First up, the world's best 17 to 20-year-old wrestlers will battle it out at the 2013 FILA Junior World Championships in Sofia, Bulgaria on the 13th through the 18th of August. As we speak, some of the top college underclassmen and high school stars of the nation are in serious training for this event. Let's take a closer look. Men's freestyle first. The USA will be led by a pair of Oklahoma State stars who for the second straight year will be competing at the Junior Worlds. Midweight star Alex Derringer checks in at 163 pounds and then adds 100 pounds or so, and you've got a very dangerous man named Austin Marsden at 264 pounds. Another standout is on a roll. He's the ASICS High School Wrestler of the Year, Maryland's Kyle Snyder. Kyle will see action at 211 pounds, and next year Snyder plans on training at the U.S. Olympic Center with two goals: refining his freestyle ability and completing his high school education. Nice goals. 121-pound Iowa Hawkeye star Thomas Gilman will be there right alongside with Northwestern star Jason Surtzes. The women's freestyle program returns three-place winners from the 2012 FILA Junior World Championships. It'll be the final year for Aaron Golston, a two-time Junior World bronze medalist at 97 pounds. Jennifer Page, who finished 5th last year at the Junior Worlds, will go at 147, and Julia Salata, who finished 8th last year, will return at 158 pounds. Three other members of last year's Women's Junior World team are back, included ASICS High School wrestler Haley Aguillo at 112, King College standout Sarah Hildebrand at 121, and USOTC resident Jenna Burkert checks in at 130. This is the third straight year that Burkert has made the Junior World team. Now we go to Greco-Roman. Three Americans are back for the second time, seeking their first medal. Jordan Spieler of Florida at 163 pounds, Isaiah Ferrona of the USOEC at 121, and Lucas Sheridan of Indiana University at 185 pounds. USA Wrestling Weekly will travel with the team to Sofia, Bulgaria, and will provide full reports over the weeks to come. Now we go to Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where USA Wrestling, Bellator, and Spike TV will partner up to host a star-studded clinic for local wrestlers. Wednesday of this week, World Wrestling champs Joe Warren and Les Gutches will hold a free wrestling clinic at Jackson's Mixed Martial Arts. Warren won a Greco-Roman world title in 2006 and is now a top MMA star for Bellator. Gutches was a 1997 world champ, a 96 Olympian, a 1999 world bronze medalist, and a two-time NCAA champ for Oregon State. He now serves as USA Wrestling's Associate Executive Director for Programs and Strategy. The wrestlers will also get to meet legendary MMA coach Greg Jackson, who owns the gym, along with the other legends on hand, guys like Frank Shamrock. After the clinic, USA Wrestling will be special guests at Bellator 98, which has a fight card that's chock full of wrestlers. We were able to film the weigh-ins prior to the event. That will feature Ben Askren, a 2008 U.S. Olympic freestyle wrestler, two-time NCAA champ while at Missouri, and current Bellator welterweight world champion. King Mo Lawal, a 2005 U.S. Freestyle World Team member, Olympic trials runner-up, and NCAA All-American for Oklahoma State. And Michael Chandler, All-American wrestler from Missouri and current Bellator lightweight world champ. And of course, Sean Bunch, a 2009 U.S. Freestyle World Team member and NCAA runner-up for Edinburgh. And finally, rounding out the wrestlers is Bubba Jenkins, a 2007 Junior World Freestyle champ and NCAA champ at Arizona State and runner-up for Penn State. We talked with Michael Chandler.
I hope you bring your A game, because we owe the fans a show. And I'm coming to give the fans a show, and if you're not ready for that, you will get finished. And that's my goal. That's what I want to do.
As you know, USA Wrestling is a huge supporter of all the wrestlers who have found success in MMA. We'll have a full report on the event on next week's show. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. We'll be right back.
Wrestlers, are you ready for the next step? USA Wrestling challenges you to test your skills at the USA Wrestling Cliff Keen Athletic Folkstyle Nationals. Become a national champion. Head to the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa on April 5th and 6th to compete against the best wrestlers in the country. Last year's event featured 1,200 cadet and junior wrestlers from 32 states on 26 mats. For more information about this event and other tournaments, visit usawrestlingevents.com.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, last week we wrapped up our coverage of the A6 Vaughn Junior and Cadet Nationals, but with all the action on the mats, we didn't get a chance to go behind the scenes. One of the things that makes Fargo such a unique event is the overwhelming support from current athletes and coaches who make the trip. We encourage the stars of the future, and so do they. We talked with past Greco-Roman World Team member Jake Fisher, who is coaching the young athletes from his home state of Missouri.
These rules are definitely a lot better than they used to be. You know, it's a lot more scoring, a lot more action, especially at this level. There's even more. So wrestling's wrestling, so you got to score points. So it's one of those situations where these rules are a lot better. You know, it's to separate the good wrestlers, from everybody else. It's awesome actually coming back here and coaching. It's fun. It's always fun giving back and like watching these crazy matches, high scores, 15 to 14, stuff like that. It's an awesome. I go to Missouri a lot and help out, periodically throughout the year, and always get back to them. So that's where I'm from. So I like it. I like coaching. So.
OTC resident athlete Aaron Golston worked as one of the women's coaches for Team Colorado.
A couple weeks ago, my coach Jeremy and Aaron Tomio, they said that they needed a women's coach for the Colorado team, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to help out the youth and girls wrestling, so I decided to take it. I was only able to wrestle here for 2 years because I made the junior world team, and I wasn't allowed to really compete here because I didn't have the time, but I definitely enjoyed my 2 years here when I did compete. I told them basically to treat this tournament like any other tournament. I think the problem with a lot of kids here, they put so much pressure on this tournament as if it's like the biggest tournament of their lives, and it really isn't. I love coaching, I really do. And I just started coaching really this year, and I just enjoy helping the girls because I was once in their place and I know how nervous they are and scared, and I'm just happy to be here to help.
Freestyle World Team member and Indiana assistant Nick Simmons returned to his home state of Michigan to offer his expertise.
I like giving back and help, like you said, helping these kids out and everything, and it's fun for me, and I hope it's just as fun for them as well. So, but I haven't been back here in 11 years since my brother wrestled in 02.
Okay.
So it's good to be back here too. Like you said, wrestling all the styles, I just believe it just makes you a better well-rounded wrestler anyways, especially developing before you get into college, and then if you want to then choose one stop, either freestyle or Greco, but they all obviously help develop your skills. Yeah, I mean, especially the way our sports evolved in the first place, So, I mean, you're always learning. I'm always learning. You're always trying to pick up stuff. And like I said, the kids have fun with it. They're always trying to learn tricks themselves, so they keep you on your toes.
One of the current wrestlers who made a big impact in Fargo was King College star Julia Salata. She was on the sidelines for Team New York when it won the junior women's national duels title and was a huge inspiration for the young women competing there. And prior to the finals, Salata was a volunteer referee working all day on one of the 23 mats at the Fargo Dome. She worked the cadet and junior Greco-Roman events, serving as a mat referee for some bouts and a judge for others. Just one in an army of volunteers who donated their time for the benefit of the thousands of youth who were in Fargo. Salata won 3 junior national titles, by the way, in Fargo while in high school, and believes that officiating is a way to not only give back, but to improve as a wrestler.
It's something I love to do. Anytime I can be around wrestling, I love getting that opportunity, and I like to give back. USA Wrestling has done a lot for me, so if I can just, even do a little bit, just, stepping on a mat and making some calls, I love to do that. I do it, for the younger guys, and, I appreciate what all the refs have done for me, coming here, donating their time, so I like to do that myself and just help out. Just understanding, positioning, and especially with the new rules, I'm kind of one step ahead. I've sat in on a lot of clinics this year every time the rules change, so every time I go into a tournament, I'm a little more confident that I know and understand the new rules, and reffing and wrestling really complement each other really well. Being a better wrestler also makes me a better official. I understand some positions better, where a call is going to be if there's a throw, where it's going to move to, so they really, balance each other out pretty well and helps me, both ways.
Well, one of the pioneers of women's wrestling, world silver medalist Stephanie Murata, was also in Fargo, not as a coach or a referee or even as a fan. Murata gave her time to the event to work on the medical staff, helping to treat the wrestlers throughout the week. Her love of wrestling and commitment to the sports medicine brought her all the way to Fargo from her new home in Hawaii.
Obviously, it's a different role for me, but I'm enjoying it. I am embracing my new profession, so it's very fun to, obviously, when you're a coach, you want your athlete to keep competing. As an athlete, you always want to keep going, but really an integral part of that is, the medical staff and supporting your athlete and making sure that you're able to compete and do the best you can. So it's nice to be on that end. I think there's a lot of empathy as far as not only necessarily the physical challenge that some of the athletes might have, but also the emotions that go with that. Obviously, everybody knows that you want to keep competing, but sometimes it's probably having a little bit more hindsight. Yeah. If you're going for, say, 5th place or 6th place, you still obviously want to wrestle and you still want to do it, but maybe that's not the best situation where you should keep wrestling. And, it's a little bit different if you're in the finals or the World Championships or the Olympics or something, a major senior competition where, that is your career. Whereas this, where you're just starting and you don't want to have any lasting injuries.
Well, the quality of wrestling in Fargo brings college coaches in from all around the country to evaluate the talent and search for the new stars of their programs. There are literally dozens and dozens of college coaches on the floor of the Dome each year from all divisions, and it's a major bonus for high school wrestlers looking to compete on the college level. We spent some time with George Mason University coach Joe Russell.
I think when you look around, pretty much every college coach in the country is here. This is the biggest, greatest tournament the country has, and we need to be here. We want to be here. It's great to be here, but as a college coach, this is the place you got to be. It's great to see the best guys from each state come together, and you can kind of, as a college coach, you can see, who's best from which state, but throughout the country as they get together. So as guys here compete, you get to really test yourself, help yourself grow, see what else is out there, other techniques, other competitors, and just get better as a wrestler.
We also caught up with the new head coach at Buffalo, John Stutzman.
Well, Fargo's the best tournament in the country, bar none. New York State wrestling has always been a strong wrestling state in the country, and I want to give back to the state, and I want to kind of help elevate New York and get those guys to Buffalo. So I think it's a win-win for both parties. I think being at Fargo is a big indicator for us if they want to wrestle year-round. If they're not wrestling year-round, they're probably not our type of guy that want to win Olympic championships, win world championships, and get on the podium at the national tournament. The ultimate goal is you have to be a student of the sport, you have to wrestle 365 days a year, you have to have a year-long program, and this shows these kids are dedicated to that.
First-time Division I coach at Brown, Todd Beckerman, was on the lookout.
We're going to have to recruit nationwide, especially, with this academic standards there, trying to find the right kids that are the perfect fit for our team, our philosophy, and where we're going to take it. The EIWA conference is one of the toughest conferences out there. You're seeing what Lehigh is doing in Cornell and the rest of the conference, and, if you're winning there, you're in a shot to win a national title at the NCAA tournament. This is one of the toughest tournaments. I mean, you see those brackets, they're 100 plus deep in each weight class, so you're wrestling the best, and to train all summer to prepare for this in Fargo, you have to be out here to recruit. I mean, you see 20 plus match guys going and, wrestling, competition after competition, and, next thing you know, they're getting 10 matches to place. So over that day, your body gets, grind down and worn down, and you just see how, what you're really dealing with as a person, as a wrestler, and who you're looking to recruit from this tournament.
Well, after spending the last 4 years at Cornell as an assistant, Jeremy Spates has now taken the reins at Southern Illinois at Edwardsville. Spates is the son of retired Oklahoma and Army coach Jack Spates. He was also an assistant coach at Oklahoma and All-American wrestler while at Missouri. Spates is considered to be one of the best young coaches in America, so look out for Southern Illinois Edwardsville and that program to make some noise in the very near future. Our wrestling news continues. This is USA Wrestling Weekly.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, USA Wrestling and the Committee for the Preservation of Olympic Wrestling, along with FILA, have come together to set up some very exciting Google Plus Hangouts. Every Thursday, some of our wrestling greats will hold live video chats with as many as 10 different people. The event's free to all wrestling fans. It can be seen on YouTube, where you can also send your questions to any of the athletes. The first week featured the popular Jake Herbert and was followed by world and Olympic champ Jordan Burroughs during week 2. Last week was billed as Women of Wrestling and included some of the best female wrestlers in the world.
I'm from Hawaii, so wrestling's huge for girls in Hawaii. So there's probably over 1,000 girls that come out to wrestle at the high school level, and I feel like it's continuing to grow, even in the age group level.
America's world silver medalist Helen Maroulis was also a guest on the Google Plus Hangout.
Wrestling's definitely helped shape the person that I am. When I first started doing sports, I did dance and ballet, and I actually got asked to quit because I was so shy. So my parents never thought that I would get into a sport like wrestling, and wrestle in front of a bunch of people and compete and stuff like that. So, but it teaches you a lot about mental toughness and just being strong. So it's definitely very important in my life.
One of our nation's top young stars, U.S. Open champ Allie Reagan, also joined in the all-women hangout.
I feel like women's wrestling is such a huge and growing sport that there's no way that they can drop it so fast because it just got in the Olympics, and so many girls are just joining the sport, and they look up to people like Clarissa Chun and Jessie McDonald and Helen. So I feel like it's just a huge thing that's growing, and from here so many things can happen. It's not just, oh, it's just a sport that's being dropped. It paves the lives for so many young girls that I feel like it can be such a bigger thing than it is now.
Canadian world champ Jessica McDonald was also a part of the event.
Really, the only time I train only with women is when I go to international training camps. Like, guys are my training partners every day. So I think the biggest thing is like they said, is having a coach that allows men and women. I mean, if you have a coach that has a closed mind to including women, well then I guess you really don't have a shot. And if it's a question also about trying to gather women, getting guests, people to come in, like guests, like some past wrestlers and stuff like that, or even current wrestlers, giving kids a role model, that will get a lot of kids through the door.
Well, wrestling is the first Olympic sport to establish a weekly Google Plus Hangout and will hopefully add a lot more momentum to the already strong effort to keep wrestling in the Olympic Games. This week, the Google Hangout guests are four-time NCAA champ Kyle Dake and Olympic champ Rulon Gardner. Many more of the top wrestling athletes and leaders will be featured in the weeks to come as we head to the International Olympic Committee vote in September. Don't forget to check it out every Thursday night. Well, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week. These pics are sent in by families and fans from around the country and are being considered for our contest in our USA Wrestler magazine and our Facebook page. This week, the photo comes from Fargo and was taken by Minnesota USA Wrestling photographer Dave Peterson. It shows Lance Bennick of Minnesota taking down Michael Smith of Maryland in the Cadet Nationals Freestyle Finals at 2:20. You can have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's contest simply by emailing them to gabbett@usawrestling.org. Thanks, Gary. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. From all of us here, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.